Long race. What are your predictions?
I predict we're going to win it. And I predict we're going to win it. I mean, I think we got the best chance we've ever had to win this race in this GT class this year. The team is strong. The driver lineup is amazing, you know, except for me. But the driver lineup is incredible. And these guys, strategy-wise, will always put you in the front every single time. The only thing is, do we have a reliability across the board? A lot of new stuff. You know, we've tried to already do 12-hour races. We've tried simulations. We think we got it pretty good. We got a fast car.
And there's a lot of traffic out there in this race, right? Yeah. This is more than normal.
That's going to play a lot into it. I'm with Bill. I had a good feeling coming in this year. You know, it's our third year with this program. We as drivers, with the engineers from BMW, from Rahal, we're all getting along the best we've ever gotten along. I think the car is the best it's ever been. We're really hitting our stride here, I think. And I'm with Bill. I think one of these cars is got a really good chance of winning. I hope it's mine. Bill won. I won Daytona. He won Homestead. Hey. I got this one.
From the BMW side, we want both of them on the podium.
Yeah. They say things happen in threes, and I got two last time.
Well, what happened to me then?
You got one.
Well, then that means it's my turn.
Why don't we have a look at the car a little bit and go over some of the key features on the car. I noticed if you look at the windshield, it looks a little bit odd right now. But
that's one of our. I mean, this is one of the key elements to us too, is seeing through the windshield, right?
See this part here.
This is a tear-off. So it's just like what guys would use in open-wheel cars on their visor. Is they would pull a tear-off when the stuff gets on there, bugs, grease, whatever. This we'll have probably 6 on there. So it changes how you see through it a little bit,
right.
You know, but you really want it in the 6th, 7th, and 12th hour when they come in.
When the sun is low.
Well, it's that you got oil, but you come in, you get in the car, and you're like, hey, please give me a tear off. I'd like to see clearly again, you know.
And you notice they're bubbling a little bit, right?
A little bit, yes.
We talked about ducting air in and air out. This car is all about managing air, right? There's not one drip of air that's on this body that they didn't want on it. This air that comes out of the radiator comes out at 200 and X amount of degrees, hits that plastic on the windshield, and starts to bubble it on the windshield.
Oh, no.
It usually takes a very long time, but we've been through some super hot races like in Utah. It just melted everything right off the top of the windshield.
Yeah.
And then on top we have a camera. This is new for this year. It's a camera that can rotate 360 degrees to show the viewers.
Good to know.
Yeah, exactly.
We love that as drivers.
Oh, and by the way, there's a camera on you in the car as well.
That's not as cool.
Yeah. Another nice piece here. Actually, there's not a lot of raw carbon fiber on this car. Most of the car is painted. The entire body is carbon fiber, but here on this mirror you can see the intricate shape, the airflow management over it, and also the carbon fiber.
Always about aerodynamics.
Exactly.
Yeah, so really, this is one of my favorite pieces on the car.
It is beautiful.
Just to show how much detail goes into everything.
Now, you guys both drive M3s normally, right? As street cars?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Black, 4-door.
This year we were able to put the Road M3 roof panel on the race car. So now we have a carbon fiber roof panel on here.
Exactly.
Looks
the same
fantastic.
One. Right. Which,
same one as the street car.
Just obviously helps the agility of the car. You know, like I always tell people, always ask when I drive my car, even at my son's preschool, I've been stopped and asked about the M3, and it's just, for me, it's all about agility, you know, how the car drives on the street, and that gets you out of trouble a lot of times on the street because, of course, we're not doing anything
ever illegal.
Never. Fast, sideways, nothing. So it's all about getting yourself out of trouble and avoiding other people's problems, but that helps a lot with the agility of the car.
You know what's interesting this year is they've allowed us to go to paddle shift. Right? It's the first year that GT cars can all have these high-tech paddle shifts, but they make us use a non-BMW version paddle shift. Well, my street car has paddle shifts. It shifts faster than our race car, and that's strictly because it's a BMW.
Now, speaking of performance of the street car versus race car, this is based on the street car. It's the same basic body structure, same basic engine and everything. What is the difference? Is there a huge difference between the race car and the street car?
Well, Bill and I have been side by side with them on the racetrack before, and there is. When you drive the cars, you drive the M3 even on the racetrack, on a track day or whatever, the street M3. Like, this is a really good car to drive. Sure. Obviously, it doesn't have as much downforce. You can hustle. It's got the nice weight distribution. You can drive it in. You can drive it off. Whatever. You get in this car, very similar balance. You think, oh, man, this thing's not really that much faster than the M3.
But they feel the same.
Yeah, they feel very similar.
That's interesting.
And then you get them on the track.
And there's a big difference between the two.
Really?
It does everything the same, just much better. Stops way deeper, much bigger brakes, much bigger tires.
Right.
And then it just corners a lot faster. It's got a lot bigger tire. It's a lighter car, but when you drive it feels very similar.
It feels the same. Nice and neutral.
We sit a little lower, we'll be honest,
Yes.
and a little further
And
back.
We'll see that in a few minutes
Yeah.
when we put you in the car. Definitely.
Very similar.
Okay, one quick question from Frank M. What kind of gas do you use?
Well, go for it.
We switched middle of last year, second race of last year,
Right, middle of last
to
year, exactly.
ethanol E85,
Right.
which gives you a little bit more power, but you have to burn more of it in order to do the same mileage, right? So they allow you to have a bigger gas tank, and we can make a little bit more horsepower on it, and they immediately jumped on it, and
So we're running E85 this weekend as well. So
and
I
it
think
smells funny. When I'm behind you, it stinks really weird. You know,
like
it does
old,
smell different.
old
Yeah.
dirt
Smells
track
odd,
days.
yeah.
So we have about 5 minutes to go. What we thought we'd do is demonstrate first of all, your office. So we'll put Bill in the car, show you a little bit about the office, and then we'll do a driver change as you would in the pits. Something you can't really see on TV, so we'll do it here. So let's get in the car.
So that's how you would get in. You get in head first and one leg first is basically kind of the technique we've figured out.
How's my seat feel?
Love it. This is Joey's seat. I want to see all the techniques. I do have to go to the bathroom, by the way, so I might as well.
Let's not do the whole bathroom thing.
All right, so you'd be clicked in here, you'd be tight, you'd be all good. Here's your paddle shifts, your screen. You see, it's way just more simplistic than the street car. It's all about here's the ignition, master power, turn it on, and the starter button, and fuel reset. These are all we basically deal with, and we now have air conditioning, which is the best thing in the entire world ever. Joey's invented this, which is beautiful.
My cousin did it for me.
Little pump in the back, and always has an adjustable lumbar support in the back. Simple. You look at the steering wheel, a lot going on here. Traction control settings, pit lane speed limiter settings, all wiper settings, everything's on here. Okay, so I'm coming into the pits. They've called me in. It's pretty simple. I'm coming around the last corner. I'm accelerating to the line, which is the pit limiter speed line in the pits as hard as I can. I hit the brakes as hard as I can. I turn on the pit speed limiter. Now I'm down to 60 kilometers an hour basically, and it's on the BMW control. It's going to regulate our speed perfectly. Now I'm coming down. I loosen a belt. I undo my helmet plug. We have Velcro up here. You put it up on top, and at the last minute, in I come. You have to have your engine shut off. Bam, engine's off. I hit my what's called a lollipop right on the target. You undo the belt. You come straight out.
And I go in. I like to go in head first, foot first. It's kind of
He's
crazy.
in. I grab his helmet plug. It gets plugged in first. Then I sit here with his belt. Now he's got two in. He moves his arm in and done. I give him a pull. That's 11 seconds. You're in.
11 seconds, we're good to go. For me, the first thing I'm hearing in my ear is when he plugs in the radio, Bobby Rahal's on my car saying, Joey, nod if you hear me, nod if you hear me. I go nod, I finish up what I'm doing. I go right to the ignition. I go fuel reset, which resets the fuel so we know how much is left when we're out there. And as soon as I can, I give them a talk back on the radio so they know I'm good to go. From that point, I make sure if I got time, which we normally do, we have adjustable pedal box down here, which is new this year and actually really awesome. We have Andy Prio driving with us in our car. So it's me, Dirk Mueller, Andy Prio, and Andy's a little smaller guy, a little bit. And so he brings the box back. I slide it right down to my stop and I'm good to go. From there, I'm just waiting on the tires to finish. By this time, the fuel is done, the tires have started, the car's in the air, and I'm sitting here waiting with the clutch in, car's not running, with my finger on the starter button, ready to go. I've also made sure my name is on the right driver ID, and I'm ready to go once they drop the car. When I hear the airline come out of the back of the car, and the car drops, I immediately go to start the car and fire it. We ready to do this?
Well, before we fire the car and drive off, just a couple of things. The entire race can be watched online on ESPN3.com. So if you want to see all 12 hours of Joey and Bill driving their M3s around the racetrack, you can. There's also a recap show on ABC on Sunday at 12. I believe it's at 12. So join us then. Joey, I think it's time to start it up and head out for practice.
That's what I do best. Let's do this. See you guys.